Now, what of those who worship the formless? Where will they reach? Shree Krishna doesn't reject them. He says, Arjun, they will also reach the goal. He's now, in the next verses, he's going to explain where will the worshippers of the formless reach. And then he compares the two paths. What is easy, what is difficult, what is more appropriate for us. And then he goes on to describe the path of bhakti. Chapter 12, verse 3. Ye tvaksharam nirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamachintyancha Kutasthamachalan dhruvam Sanniyam yendriyagramam Sarvatra samabuddhayaha Te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. We discussed so far that having seen the universal form of the Supreme Lord, Arjun was moved to curiosity. He had seen God in his two different aspects, in his sweet personal two-armed form and his all-pervading cosmic form. So he had now the choice of yoga. Should he absorb his mind in the formless, all-pervading aspect, or should he engage his mind in thinking of the personal form of God? Now we should remember that these two are different aspects of the one God. I keep emphasizing, we are not to limit our understanding. Some people say he is only personal, some say he is only formless. That is limited understanding. The complete understanding is that he is both, because he is Sarva Shaktiman, all-powerful, Satya Sankalp. Whatever he resolves comes about. Hence, Shankaracharya said, if God resolves to be formless, he will be so. If he resolves to have a personal form, he will have one. He is both Murtan Chaiva, Amurtan Cha. So, both these aspects are a fact. And that gives us the choice. Should we approach the formless? Should we approach the personal form? Those who worship the personal form, they know my Krishna is everywhere. But as a matter of choice, they wish to connect with him in his form. Those who worship the formless, they know sometimes that this formless descends as an avatar in the world. But they wish to contemplate upon that aspect of him. So Arjun desired to compare because we all wish to reach the highest goal. This is a universal dharma amongst all human beings. We wish to perfect ourselves. We wish to become perfect humans. That's our natural urge of the soul. So if we come to a level of perfection and we find out there is a higher level of perfection, we strive for that. So this urge within Arjun inspired him to ask the question, Shree Krishna, which of these two kinds of yogis would you consider more perfect in yoga? So Sri Krishna answered that Arjun, those who worship my personal form, I consider them to be the highest. And we went into the depths of this verse and understood that if you have a distant realization of him, you see him as a formless light. If you have a closer realization of him, you see him as seated within the heart as the Paramatma. And in his closest realization, you realize him in his personal form, where the sweetness of his form manifests, the sweetness of his flute, the sweetness of his pastimes, his Saukumarya, Saashilya, Saurasya, all this is relished by the devotee of the personal form. So now, having said that worship of the personal form will give the highest realization and also the sweetest experience of bliss, Sri Krishna is not eliminating the other kinds of yogis. He doesn't say this is the only path. So he says, Arjun, those who worship the formless, and he gives an extended definition of it. It is unmanifest, indefinable, inconceivable, without attributes. Shankaracharya had said, Nirgun, Nirvishesh, Nirakar. So, those who worship God in that aspect will also reach Him. Human beings have inherent varieties in them. Variety is the characteristic of this world. We all have different appearances, of course, but we also have different voices. And very often I am subject to intimidation because of this. Just today it happened. Somebody rang up, Radhe Radhe Swamiji. I said, Radhe Radhe, pehchana humko? Did you recognize me? I said, what a wonderful way to start. Why don't you start by introducing yourself? I am so-and-so from LA. Acha, acha, acha. Very good, very good. So, but they expect Swamiji to remember because everybody's voices are different. All of us have different fingerprints. That's the principle behind the electronic signature. 7 billion of us on the planet Earth, and this little area has got such variety in it. And the variety in our natures is connected to our sanskars of past lives. You know, we have been through so many forms, and even the lower species. So the variegated nature started developing there itself. My host has got a dog. So that dog's full-time occupation is making friends with anybody in the house. And whenever he sees me, he wants to jump on me. So I am not habituated to dogs, so I keep trying to avoid. But I was interested to see that look at his affectionate nature. Now the sanskars are already there. This dog, when finally it's promoted to the human form, you'd expect those sanskars. It will be a very affectionate, loving human being. So we are all coming from different life forms, from infinite lifetimes. We've all taken on different human forms in the past. That is why there is such amazing variety amongst us. Now you can't fit the same shirt onto everyone, right? So you can't have just one path. As they say, different shloks for different folks. The beauty of our Vedic tradition is it acknowledges this variety and caters to it. So Shree Krishna does not cut it out, but yet he makes Arjun aware of what this path entails, what the other path entails, where will the first take us, where will the second take us, and then leaves it to Arjun. Karahu just tumahi suhai. Lord Ram had said, O residents of Ayodhya, I have informed you of the truth. Think over it deeply. Contemplate. Decide. And then do what you wish. So the teacher does not force. The teacher helps the student to learn. So Sri Krishna is letting Arjun know what this path is all about.